What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new Pokemon Go news alert. Today we're going to be talking about the new update, but I know I'm a bit late on it, so we're not going to talk about the whole thing in detail and tear it all apart, just the things that I think are important and speculation based on those things, so let's get right into it. So before we get into the actual speculation and everything, I do want to say this information came from /r/the Sylph Road for the most part, so definitely go check that community out if you haven't already, because they're fantastic. They're just a great group of people, and they have great information too, so you can't go wrong. So there were a few new things that were added to the game, a few bug fixes, a few UI fixes. They added some new achievements apparently, and they also decided to change the cooldowns on a few things. So that's not super important to talk about, but it's good to note in the back of your mind. Now the main thing we have to talk about for this update is the store opening up. Now again, this is a secondary feature. I talked about this a little bit in my last video, so go check that out if you haven't already. But basically what that means is that it's a feature that isn't necessary to the game for it to actually be considered a game, for it to function properly, but it is a feature that's very, very close to the integral core gameplay experience. So being able to buy things to sort of continue your gameplay when you're out of Pokestops in the area, they're all on cooldown, or whatever example you want to come up with, is very, very important, so having that in the game is definitely a secondary feature. So it appears that every single beta tester was given 100 Pokecoins initially, which is the currency that you use to buy things from the actual shop itself. So you can get one of, 7 different items at this point? Now, it looks like the main things that they emphasize here is that you can increase the storage of just general items, and you can also increase your Pokemon storage. So you can store more items, you can store more Pokemon, and it's 500 coins. Now, people have been speculating lately that it's going to be 100 coins for $1 with reductions in price based on how many you get, which makes a lot of sense and definitely would be consistent with the Ingress model as well. So personally, I do think that is a fantastic purchase model for them to adopt. I think that having storage increases as a purchasable thing is a great idea, because it means that the hardcore player is going to have to spend a little bit here and there to continue playing, but the casual player isn't going to have to pay anything at all. They're just going to be able to keep the Pokemon that they catch and just sort of play the game at their leisure. Basically, what I'm saying is that it reaffirms my thought that they're trying to make it so you can play the game right at the beginning without spending any money at all, but if you do like the game, you do want to put a little bit of money into it, it can benefit you in a pretty significant way. So this does mean that the thing that I was talking about in one of my previous videos about having a low barrier to entry, which is free at this point, is going to probably ring true for the actual full release of the game. So at the moment, the only things you can buy in the shop are storage for items and storage for Pokemon. But there are 5 other items that have been discovered in the mining of the APK, so let's talk about those. So first off, we have incense. Now, people are saying that it's probably going to attract wild Pokemon, but if they include honey like they were going to initially, that's in the trailer and everything, I wouldn't think that that would be attracting Pokemon. Now, honey might be a one-use item that attracts Pokemon instantly, and an incense might just attract more Pokemon over time as like a one-time purchase, which would be pretty cool. Then we have an incubator, which is pretty obviously going to have something to do with hatching eggs a little bit faster. Next up, we have the lucky egg, which is something that in the past has been used to get more experience on your Pokemon, and I would assume has something to do with that in Pokemon Go as well. After that, you have revives, which are very self-explanatory. They revive your Pokemon if it faints. Finally, you have Pokestop discs. Now, this really doesn't have an obvious meaning like the rest of them have, but people are speculating that it can be used to increase the radius of interaction for each Pokestop or gym, which would make sense. Next up, we're going to talk about battle tweaks. So they have made some tweaks to battling in general. They've given some Pokemon more stamina bars than others, which again is fantastic. It adds diversity to the game. It means there's more strategy to making a team and just formulating a battle plan against certain gyms. I love the idea. Possibly the most important part of this entire update is that we got some information on how we're going to interact with the Pokemon Go Plus device. So it looks like you're going to be able to interact with Pokestops and catch Pokemon with the Pokemon Go Plus device. It can also give you a number of notifications that are very important to note. So I'm just as excited as the next guy about more information on the Pokemon Go Plus device, but the actual information I'm very excited about and can speculate on is hidden in the notifications for the Pokemon Go Plus device. So if you look at the list of notifications you can get from it, you can get that you reached a Pokestop, that you're near a spawned Pokemon, that you're near a spawned uncaught Pokemon, that you're ready to throw a Pokeball at a Pokemon, that the Pokeball actually can shake and break open, or that it can shake and get caught. And the final thing is that there's a spawned legendary Pokemon that you're encountering, which is just something crazy that I did not expect to hear about at all. Given that the update included a lot of different bits of information about just general fixes and everything, I didn't think that we'd have something as big as confirmation that you're going to have a special encounter for legendary Pokemon, but apparently we did. So I really don't have a lot of speculation on how we're going to encounter legendary Pokemon, other than it's definitely going to be different than a normal encounter. I still think without a shadow of a doubt that there are going to be raids and other events that get a lot of people together to encounter one legendary Pokemon and fight it together, but that is very reassuring for having multiple avenues of getting certain legendary Pokemon. For example, imagine if the legendary birds were a random encounter and you're just playing the game and all of a sudden your Pokemon Go Plus device just starts glowing yellow and shaking and you just have no idea what's going on, so you open up your app and boom, freaking Zapdos all of a sudden. I think personally that would be a pretty awesome experience. And I would definitely vlog it for you guys. But guys, that is gonna be about it for this one. I could get really in depth with a lot more with this update, but a lot of other people have already talked about it. Team Atlas Go made a great video talking in depth about the entire update, so definitely go check that out if you want more information and you don't want to go ahead and read the Sylph Road subreddit post. But guys, I really think that this is getting close. I think that we're going to be getting the app very soon, and I am so hyped. Hope you guys are as well. Hope to see you back here for the next Pokemon Go News Alert. Until next time, guys, peace.